Well, hey, good day to you. This is Todd. I am a regular dude walking in the Word. We are in the book of Numbers right now, and today we're actually concluding chapter 21 in Numbers here. Numbers 21 had a whole lot of, you might say, adventure, a lot of stuff to learn in that chapter. Today, I've entitled it, actually, because I make this episode here, I can make it two titles if I want to. And so today it's got two titles. The first one is Our God, the Great Orchestrator. Okay. And luckily for me, when I type this stuff out, my computer has spell check, and then then I have a wife that also can help me spell check stuff like orchestrator. How do you spell orchestrator? So anyway, I'll be spell checking that in the title to make sure that's a proper word, and then also that I spell it correctly. Okay, if it would be just me writing it down, there'd be a lot of misspelling. The second title is this: I love it when a plan comes together. Back years ago, there was a TV show called The A-Team, and these guys from had fought together, and then one of the Hannibal, the leader, he always had a plan. And then at the end of the show, after they've rescued the girl and everything's been blown up and everyone's safe and their goal has been accomplished, he sticks a cigar in his mouth and he says, I love it when a plan comes together. Okay. In this story, it's kind of the same way. God has planned all this all along, ever since they left Egypt. And this is now where this plan is finally coming together. God said, I'm going to give you this land. I'm going to get you there and stuff. And the Israelites complained on the way, and so there was all these delays and everything along the way. But now they're getting toward the end here, and they're right at the edge of the Promised Land. Okay, so we talked about earlier how they went by Edom. Okay, they didn't go into Edom. They went around Edom. Well, now they're around Edom, and they're getting into territory that really should be conquered. Okay, and you're going to see what happens here. God has a plan, and it just like that, bam, 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 it all comes together, just like God, the way God orchestrated it. So today, I want to read here chapter 21 of Numbers, verses 21 to 35. It says this: Israel sent messengers to say to Sihon, king of the Amorites. Okay, and all these kings that we're dealing with now, they're not relatives of the Israelites at all. Okay, they backed away from Edom because Edom, the people of Edom, were descendants of Esau, which was their cousins, you might say, in a way. Okay, so but now these people are not related at all, and God has said these people need to be destroyed because of the sin that has taken place in their lives and the way they keep on sinning. Okay, so we're now at this point where they come to this kingdom here. Verse 22, let us pass through your country. We will not turn aside into any field or vineyard or drink water from any well. We will travel along the king's highway until we have passed through your territory. Okay, Moses first does the diplomatic thing. He says, hey, just let us through. We're not going to hurt you. But if you just let us through, all we want to do is get through. Okay? But God has this planned out. Okay? Verse 23, but Sihon would not let Israel pass through his territory. He mustered his entire army and marched out into the wilderness against Israel. Okay? So not only does he say no, but he goes out into the wilderness where the Israelites are. They're not even in that territory yet, but they're out in the wilderness. He goes after them. Okay, so he's instigating this whole thing. They say, hey, we just want to come through, and he says, oh, I'm going to kill you, is basically what he's saying here. When he reached Jahaz, he fought with Israel. Israel, however, put him to the sword and took over his land from Ammon to Jabbok, but only as far as the Amorites, because their border was fortified. Israel captured all the city of the Amorites and occupied them, including Heshbon and its surrounding settlements. Heshbon was the city of Sihon, king of the Amorites, who had fought against the former king of Moab, and had taken from him all the land as far as Arnon. Okay? So, what happens here is they just, the king comes out, brings his army out, and Israel just defends itself. Okay? And when they defended themselves, they, kill the enemy, and then there's all this booty that's left, all the towns and everything. And so, they now can settle in those towns. All right. Verse 27 says, that is why the poets say, and this is the poem here that's coming. Come to Heshbon and let it be rebuilt. Let Sihon's city be restored. Fire went out from Heshbon, a blaze from the city of Sihon. It consumed Ar of Moab, the citizens of Arnon's heights. Woe to you, Moab! You are destroyed, people of Chemosh. He has given up his sons as fugitives, and his daughters as captives, to Sihon, king of the Amorites. But we have overthrown them. Heshbon's dominion has been destroyed all the way to Dibon. We have demolished them as far as Nobeth, which extends to Mebda. Okay, so Israel settled in the land of the Amorites. All right? And they wrote a little poem about what they had done, of how they defeated everyone there. Verse 32 says, After Moses had sent spies to Jazer, the Israelites captured its surrounding settlements and drove out the Amorites who were there. Then they turned and went up along the road toward Bashan and the Og, and the kings of Bashan and his whole army marched out to meet them in battle at Edrei. Okay? Same thing happens. They come out, and the king comes out to fight against Israel. Israel's just marching along, but the kings come out to attack Israel. Verse 34, the Lord said to Moses, Do not be afraid of him, for I have delivered him into your hands, along with his whole army and his land. Do to him what you did to Sihon, king of the Amorites, who reigned in Heshbon. How could they forget? It was only a little while ago that they defeated that king. And so God's saying, hey, I'm going to do the same thing. Just watch and see. Verse 35, so they struck him down together with his sons and his whole army, leaving them no survivors. Key thing there. They really wiped him out. They didn't take any captives or anything. They left no survivors at all. Okay? And they took possession of his land. All right? Like I said before at the beginning, when you had the A-Team was on and you had Hannibal at the end of the show said, man, I love it when a plan comes together. In the same way, God is, I think at the end of the story, he's looking down and he's going, hey, man, I love it when a plan comes together. The people that I chose are actually obeying me. They're doing what I asked them to do. They're not, doing things they shouldn't be doing. They're obeying what I want. And these kings come out and attack them, and we just defeat them. Okay, God defeats the enemy. And so the plan is coming together perfectly. Watch for ways in your life where it might not look that great. Okay, I'm sure it didn't look that great when these Israelites were just marching, traveling along, and all of a sudden the enemy comes out. Several times actually comes out to attack them, but they were defeated. So look for those ways in your life where the enemy has come to attack you, but look beyond that to see how God can bless you. All right. Hey, thanks for watching. I'm just a regular dude walking in the Word, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow as we actually get into chapter 2, where we're getting ready to deal with Balaam. All right? Lord's blessing. I'll see you tomorrow.